version of child's pose for you. So for some people, child's pose is like not a resting pose. Hang on, I'm gonna have to record this, aren't I? Bear with me a second. So we're going to start in child's pose. I'm just gonna move this chair out of the way. We definitely don't need that. For some people, child's pose does not feel restful, so give yourself as much support as you need. You might have something underneath the knees, like a folded blanket or cushions. You might have a cushion between the hips and the heels. You can take the knees wide apart and the big toes towards each other, and then sink the hips back towards the heels. Stretch the arms out and bring the forehead down towards the floor. If for any reason you're not bringing the head down today, so if there's sinus issues or dizziness or it just doesn't feel good, then stay up on the forearms or cross the arms under the head. You can even do this pose over a chair or over your couch so that the upper body is higher than the hips. And then just allow yourself to sink into your version. Yourself to just be here. I know that it's okay to move if you need to move. If you come into this pose and you feel like, nope, that's not working, you can always come out of it, make adjustments. Just allow the breath to slow down. Child's pose is one of those poses where we're turning inwards, covering the face, covering the front of the body. All of our essential, important organs are protected here. We're exposing our bony back body, our spine, the hard shell of ourselves. It's almost like we're hiding here. Feel the breath as it goes into the back of the body, into the upper back, the mid back, the low back. And see, can you relax across the back of the pelvis? Finding your comfortable child's pose, whatever that means for you. Slowing right down. Listening to the sound of your breath. Beginning to bring that focus right inwards. Are stretched out above your head. Start to walk the hands back now alongside the heels and allow the shoulders to roll forwards. Turn the palms up so the backs of the hands are on the floor. Notice how this feels in the shoulders. You might even roll the forehead from side to side, massaging the forehead on the floor. Maybe turning the head from side to side. And then walk the hands back up, stretching out the fingertips, breathing right down into the side ribs and the armpits. Allow the breath to deepen. And then start to walk the hands over to the right side. So it's like you're draping yourself down over your right thigh. Place the left hand on top of the right. And then sink down. Can you roll your left ribs down towards the floor? And then breathing in, walk the hands back through center, over to the other side. This time right hand goes on top of left, and you roll the right ribs down towards the floor. Sinking the hips back and down. And with your next inhale, start to bring yourself back into center. We'll take a few more breaths here in child's pose, your variation of it. And with your next inhale, start to bring yourself forwards into hands and knees. Spread the fingers wide, ground the palms into the earth. You can widen the knees here a little bit and start to make circles with the body. Nice big circles. Warming up the hip joints, the shoulder joints. Notice the weight in your hands as you come forwards. And then pause and change direction, go the other way. And then as you breathe in, bring yourself back into center. Readjust the knees out now. So the knees are underneath the hips and the hands are underneath the shoulders for cat-cow. Breathing in as you extend the tailbone towards the sky. The belly goes down, lift the chest and look up. On your exhale, start to round under. Tuck the tailbone under, rounding the spine, look back towards the thighs. Breathing in as you lift the heart center, the belly goes down, look up. Exhale, rounding in, stretching the whole back of the body. From the nape of the neck right down to the tailbone. Move like this with your breath in your own time. You can go fast or you can go slow. Just do whatever feels good. Let's take one more round of cat-cow. One inhale, one exhale, and then come back into center. Finding a neutral place between cat and cow, so about that halfway mark, and then bring the awareness to your shoulders. Imagine you're pressing the mat away and doming up through the top of the shoulders, so it's just in that upper back area. And then allow the chest to come down between the hands. So it's a really small movement. The shoulder blades squeeze towards each other on the back. Breathe in now as you press the mat away, doming up through the top of the shoulders. Keep the neck neutral and exhale. Let the heart center sink down towards the floor. Don't bend the elbows here. Just move from the shoulder joint. So don't worry if you're not feeling anything here or if you're thinking, what is she on about? Think about that movement of the shoulder blades. So taking them apart as you press the mat away and then squeezing them together as you lower the chest down. Good, let's do a few more like this. Be mindful now if there's shoulder injury or anything going on in the hands. And then come back into center, I should say, finding that neutral place. We'll widen the knees a little bit here and then step the hands forwards. Just a little bit, and then from here sink the hips back to child's pose. Now from child's pose, start to round the spine just like we did in cat. Come forwards, the shoulders come over the wrists, and then dip the belly, stick the bum out and sink the hips back towards the heels. Move like this with your breath. Rounding the spine up, arching the back as you come forwards, and then dip the belly down, sink back towards the heels. Rounding up, cat action in the spine, look between the hands and then stick the tail out, belly goes back, really nice. Let's do one more like that, rounding up, chest goes down, shoulder blades draw towards each other as you sink back. And then from here, staying in child's pose for just a moment, think about reversing the action. So we're coming forwards first with the chest down. It's like you're scooping the chest through. You can even soften the elbows here. And then press up round the spine to come back. Scoop the chest through, the elbows can bend or soften. Straighten the arms round the spine. Come back to child's pose. Good, let's do two more like that. Really exaggerate that spinal movement as much as you can. And then Find yourself back in child's pose. Notice how the wrists are here. You might want to take the weight off them. Give them a little circle out going one way and then the other. And then come back into center. We'll come back onto the hands and knees. Knees are underneath the hips, hands are underneath the shoulders. And then from here, breathing in to extend the right leg. On your exhale, round the spine, knee comes towards the forehead. Inhale, lengthen away, look up. Exhale, rounding in, knee to forehead. Inhale, leg extends. Exhale, rounding in. This time as the leg extends, can you pick up the left hand, reach it away from you? Exhale, knee and elbow come towards each other. You can always come back to the first stage, or you can keep working like this with your breath. So you might have the hand down and just be doing the leg. Maybe you're doing the leg and the arm. Building that strength, challenging your brain as you use your right side and your left side. Good, let's do one more like this. And the next time the leg and the arm are extended, keep them there. You've got the option to stay here, or you can bend the knee, sweep the hand behind, find your foot, and then press the hand and foot together. Balancing and binding, maybe you look up. Last breath here to release very gently, slowly and controlled. Come back through the spinal balance and then release the hand down. Bring the knee back down onto the mat. Let's do the second side, picking up the left leg, send it out behind you. On your exhale, round the spine, knee to forehead. Breathing in to lengthen away. Press out through the ball of the foot, look up. Exhale, round in, knee to forehead. Inhale, lengthen away. Exhale, round in. This time, can you pick up the right hand, reach it away from you. Exhale, elbow and knee together. Move like this with your breath. You can always take the hand down if you're feeling wobbly, or if it's not working, or if there's anything going on the left side. Perhaps you're bringing up the sound of the Ujjayi breath here. Breathing in and out through the nose. Slight constriction at the back of the throat. Next time the arm and leg extend, let's hold it here. Find that balance. Maybe you'll bend the knee, sweep the hand around, find the foot. So if you're using the Ujjayi breath, can you build that internal heat? You can always stay with a natural breath, that's fine too. Draw the right shoulder back. Press the hand and foot together, last breath here. And then slowly release, find your spinal balance. Heel and toe reaching away from each other. And then exhale, the hand releases, the knee releases. Let's come up to kneel, reach the arms up overhead. Circle out the wrists. Go one way and then go the other way. And then take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, draw the shoulder blades together. Can you straighten the arms? Maybe you'll draw the ribs down towards the hips here. So try not to flare across the front of the chest. And with your next exhale, slowly release. Come back to hands and knees, tuck the toes under, lift the knees off the mat for downward facing dog and begin to pedal the legs. One at a time, bending the knee and then the other knee. Grounding down through the hands. Hasta Bandha, or the hand lock. Can you find an awareness with your low belly here? The answer might be no, and that's okay. It's difficult to find when we're upside down like this. And think about a corset around your middle, hugging you in tightly. Front, back and sides. And then from here, bring the legs towards straight. And then allow the shoulders to come over the hands. And then from plank, lower the knees. Very slowly bend the elbows. They stay in by the ribs. Come to lie down on the belly. A modified chaturanga. Once you're there, point the toes back. Readjust yourself if you need to on the mat. I'm actually going to have to take my blanket out. It's kind of in the way. Enjoy that little rest there on the mat, pointing the toes back. Just noticing what parts of your body are touching the mat here. So the hands are under the shoulders, the elbows are down on the floor. Roll the shoulders up to the ears and down the back. So allow the shoulder blades to relax down the back. You might feel your pubic bone and your hip bones here on the mat, the belly, maybe even the bottom ribs and the chest. The toes are down. And then squeeze the front of your thighs. So you might notice here that the kneecaps start to lift up. Let's keep that action with the legs. Keep the pubic bone down, keep the hip bones down, and then breathe in to slowly lift the chest. Bhujangasana, gentle cobra, exhale to lower. Move up and down like this with your breath. Full awareness of the spine. Breathing in to lift and breathing out to lower. Don't be tempted to go too high just yet. Just warming up. And the next time you come to lie down, hold it here. Slide your elbows forwards now. So your elbows are underneath your shoulders. The palms are down, the arms are parallel. And then imagine you're grounding the hands and the forearms down into the floor. Now keep the pubic bone and the hip bones down. Keep the toes working, they're grounding into the floor. Fronts of the thighs are switched on, the kneecaps are lifting. And then ground the arms down. Imagine you're pulling your chest through the arms towards the top of your mat. Can you find an awareness now with the belly? Use your breath here. Keep grounding the hands down. Drag yourself forwards. Gazing just in front of you in Sphinx. Let's take one more breath here. There might be shaking. That's fine. That's okay. And then when you're ready, exhale. Slowly lower back down. Take the hands underneath the shoulders. Press your way back to downward facing dog. Finding a downward facing dog that works for you. So you can always have softer bent knees in down dog. There's no requirement here to have straight legs. For some people, it feels better to have the toes turned in a little bit, so a slight internal rotation of the thigh bones. The arms can be straight, the head relaxes. Nod the head to say yes, and then shake the head to say no. And let go of any tension that might have built up there. Taking a few long breaths here. Listening to the tempo of your breath, the sound of your breath. And then at the end of the next exhale, look to the top of the mat and make your way forward. So step, walk, hop, or jump up to the top of the mat. Keep the knees bent, fingertips stay down, spine is long for a halfway lift. On your next exhale, folding down over the legs. You can widen the feet here if you like. Take a hold to opposite elbow and hang down in ragdoll. So you can bend the knees as much as you need to here. You can have the belly down on the thighs, arms folded, maybe you'll rock from side to side. Just do whatever feels good. And then come back to center if you're rocking. Release the arms, let them dangle down towards the floor. And then breathe in slowly. Roll yourself up one vertebra at a time, stacking the bones as you come all the way up. Roll the shoulders down the back once you get up there. And come to stand. Tadasana, mountain pose. Feet are about hips width apart. Pick up all 10 toes, spread them out, ground them down. Let the arms rest down by the sides. Stand up tall and then take a few moments here to close down the eyes and tune back in with the sound of your breath. Finding your own rhythm of your breath tonight. I'll give breath cues, but you don't have to follow them. You can do whatever feels good for you. Sometimes we'll take 2 breaths instead of 1. Sometimes you'll exhale when I inhale. It's all good. Just don't hold the breath. Softening the face and the shoulders. And then if the eyes are closed, blink them open, bring the gaze back around the room. Breathing in, reach the arms up overhead. On your exhale, bend the knees deeply. Utkatasana, chair pose. Now look down. Keep the legs parallel so the knees are tracking over the feet. Lengthen the tailbone down and then draw the belly in. Can you straighten the arms? Maybe you can look up between the hands. With your next exhale, folding down over the legs, full forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale for a halfway lift. On your exhale, place the palms flat, step to high plank. Let's hold high plank here. Shoulders stay over the wrists. We're drawing the belly in. And notice the shoulders here. Are you sinking down through the chest? Can you press the mat away and stay strong through the shoulders? And then lower the knees gently to the floor. Slowly come to lie down on the belly, bending the elbows in by the side ribs. Once you're down there, point the toes back, breathe in, Bhujangasana, Cobra. Exhale to lie back down. Inhale, press to tabletop, and exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a few long, deep breaths in down dog. You might be pedaling again here, that's good. Just do whatever feels right. Maybe you'll bring the hips from side to side. Yeah, get some movement going on. And then find downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths. And then from here, shift yourself forwards. The shoulders come over the wrists, finding high plank again. Draw the belly in, press the mat away. Stay really strong through the chest and then lower the knees to the floor. With your exhale, bring the hips back towards the heels. The toes are still tucked under. Staying here just for a breath. Breathe in now to come forwards. One line from the crown of the head down to the backs of the knees. So notice if your bum is sticking up, can you lower the hips down and then bend the elbows just halfway down and then press yourself back up. And then bring the hips back, child's pose variation. Breathe in to come forwards, breathe out. Bend the elbows, lower the chest halfway down. Breathe in to come up and breathe out to press back. So baby chaturanga. Breathe in to come forwards. Exhale, lower halfway down. Stay strong in the belly and in the back. Exhale back down, child's pose. Keep working with your breath. Going forwards and back. The elbows are staying in by the side ribs. If you need to rest at any stage, you can stay in child's pose. Otherwise, come with me. Each time you lower down, think about staying strong in the front of the body, so not collapsing. Remember, halfway between that action that we did earlier on when we were pressing the mat away, you want to stay there with the shoulders. And then when you're ready, take a break in child's pose. A few long deep breaths. You can take the hands back by the heels, turn the palms up, give the wrists a little massage by moving the hands side to side on the mat. Let's take one more breath here, and then when you're ready, coming back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, float the right leg up behind you. On your exhale, step the right foot to the top of the mat, keeping the left heel lifted here. The right knee is bent, it's stacked directly over the heel. Come up onto the fingertips and gaze forwards, a really long spine. Press out through the left heel. And then think about drawing your right hip inwards. So it's like you're hugging the hip in. Keeping that integrity of the legs, breathe in to reach the arms up, high lunge. Really nice. Can you keep the arms up? Maybe you can keep the gaze up and then straighten the right leg. So nice. With your next exhale, bend the right knee, just take it over the heel. And then inhale, straighten the leg, reach up. Exhale, bend the right knee. Good, it's a small movement. Inhale, reach up, find that balance. There might be wobbling. Let's do one more. Inhale up and exhale, bend the knee. So good. From here, let's take the hands down to the hips. Readjust your back foot, so step it in a little bit and get the heel down. Again, there might be wobbling here, so if you find yourself really wobbly, then you can zigzag the right foot out to the side just a little bit, and you might find that that's helpful. Also, really grounding down through the right big toe can help here too. Hands come to the hips, lengthening through the spine. Holding here, really press out through the back heel. With your next exhale, release the hands down by the hips and then start to tilt forwards about a third of the way. The spine stays long. With your inhale, come back up, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, folding from the hips about a third of the way down. That arms sweep down by the sides. It's like you're about to take flight. Inhale to come up. Last one like this. Exhale, folding a third of the way down. Spine stays long, really good. And inhale, right back up. Good. With your next exhale, take the hands to the hips. Bending the right knee, start to float forwards and lift the left leg up, folding halfway down. Warrior 3 with the hands on the hips. So you can stay here, this might feel like enough, or maybe you'll release the hands and reach them forwards. Notice if your left shoulder is higher than your right. It might be, that's okay. And then with your next exhale, folding all the way down, standing splits. So good. Can you straighten both legs if possible? Breathe in for a halfway lift, lengthen the spine, and then bend your right knee. Send your left foot to the back of the mat. Work to get the heel down again. Right knee stays bent. Good. Inhale to lengthen, come up onto the fingertips, and then as you exhale, can you straighten the right leg and fold down over the right leg. Ekapada Uttanasana, one leg forward fold. So don't worry if that leg doesn't straighten. Think about finding the length in the back of it, lifting from the right hip. Can you soften the shoulders here? With an inhale, take a halfway lift, bending the right knee, plant the palms flat, and then step to high plank. From high plank, now you've got the option for chaturanga, or you can take knees down, lie down like we did before. If you're taking chaturanga, shift forwards on the toes, bend the elbows so you lower halfway. Stay strong in the shoulders and the belly, and then flip or roll over the toes into upward facing dog. If the knees were down, it's Bhujangasana Cobra. Exhale, flip or roll back over the toes, downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths in down dog. Slowing down the breath. And with your next inhale, let's float the left leg up behind us. On your exhale, step the left foot to the top of the mat. Show it where to go if it won't behave itself. Bending the left knee and come onto the fingertips. Really work to straighten the right leg as much as you can, and then hug the left hip in towards you. So if you felt wobbly on the first side, now is a good time to move the left foot out to the side a little bit so you've got more space between the feet. And then when you're ready, breathing in really slowly, start to come up, reach the arms up, find high lunge. Good, maybe you look up between the fingertips. With your next inhale, straighten the left leg. Stay on the ball of the right foot. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend the knee. Good. Two more like this. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Last one. Inhale, straighten. Find that balance. And exhale to bend. Holding here. Hugging the hips inwards. Press out through the right heel. And then with your next exhale, the hands come down by the sides. Take them behind you really gently. And then folding about a third of the way down from the hips. Inhale to come up, reach the arms up. Exhale, folding from the hips. The arms sweep down and behind, like you're about to take flight. Inhale, reach the arms up. High lunge. Exhale, fold from the hips. Last one, sorry, I've lost count. What's new, huh? Exhale, slowly come a third of the way down. Breathing in now. Come back up. Let's take the hands to the hips. And then from here, start to float forwards. Can you bring the right leg up? Folding from the hips, finding warrior three. Think about keeping the right hip down. It wants to lift. And you might stay here with the hands on the hips, or maybe you'll start to reach the arms out in front. If you've got a wall there, then handy, that's great. The right toes roll down towards the floor. One more breath here, and then exhale, folding down into standing splits, lifting the right leg as high as you can. Can you soften the shoulders? With an inhale, take a halfway lift and bend the left knee. Float the right foot to the back of the mat, and then move the foot so that the heel is down, the left knee is bent. Breathe in to take a halfway lift, and then breathing out, fold over the left leg. Maybe the left leg will straighten to find your one leg forward fold. Ekapada Uttanasana, or your variation of it. Good. Think about lifting from the left hip up towards the sky. Soften the shoulders and the face. Last breath here. Take an inhale for a halfway lift. Bend the left knee. Exhale, place the palms flat. Step to high plank. Option for chaturanga or modified chaturanga as before. If you're modifying, bring the knees down. If not, shift forwards, bend the elbows, lower halfway down. Inhale, flip a roll over the toes, or take Bhujangasana Cobra. Exhale, roll back over the toes, downward facing dog. Let's take a few long deep breaths in down dog. Notice how the backs of the legs feel now. Maybe they might be a little bit more open. And if you've got that urge to move, then start to shake your heels up and down. So the legs are shaking, they're moving. You can always stay still here. And then find stillness if you're doing the shaking. And at the end of the next exhale, look to the top of the mat to where you want to come to. Step or hop all the way up. Breathe in for a halfway lift. Stay on the fingertips. Exhale, folding down, full forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees deeply now. Reach the arms up, Utkatasana. Chair pose. Exhale, come to stand, hands to the heart center. Let's take a moment here, find your breath. You might even bring the hands onto the heart center. Perhaps you'll feel your heart beating. Tuning in again to the rhythm of your own breath. And if the eyes are closed now, blink them open, bring the gaze back around the room. Breathe in to circle the arms up overhead. Breathe out to fold down from the hips, bending the knees any amount for a full forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. On your exhale, place the palms flat, step to high plank. Your choice again, knees down or chaturanga. Moving through your vinyasa with awareness, breathing into either upward facing dog or Bhujangasana. This is your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step the big toes together at the back of the mat and then breathe in to float the right leg up behind you. Bending the right knee, stack the right hip on top of the left, and then ground evenly through the hands. Can you press the left heel down towards the floor a little more? With an inhale, take the leg back to center, and exhale, step it through between the hands. Help it if it needs a little bit of assistance. Turn the left foot to face the short edge of the mat, right knee stays bent, and then breathe in to windmill the arms up. Finding warrior two. So sit nice and low into the hips here in warrior two. You might need to readjust the feet to come low into the hips, and then check in with the right knee. A lot of the time it has that tendency to fall inwards. Can you encourage an opening here in the thigh bone? Gazing out over the middle finger of the right hand. Turn the right palm to face the ceiling. On your exhale, lean back. Reverse warrior. With your next inhale, come back into center, bending the right arm. Place the forearm down on the thigh and reach the left hand up towards the sky. A modified side angle pose. Maybe you can start to take the arm over the head, so it's like your arm is coming alongside the ear, lengthening through the left side body. And then breathe in, come all the way up, Virabhadrasana 2. Take the two hands up overhead. Imagine you're holding onto a beach ball or maybe a yoga block. You can imagine it's there. And then start to move the body from side to side, leaning over the right thigh. Breathe in to come back to center, and then lean back over the left leg. Keep the arms where they are as you start to move with your breath. Think about strengthening and lengthening in the side waist. Really feel this lateral spinal movement. And then once you find yourself back into center, open the arms out to a T, finding warrior two. Can you pick up the right heel so you're on the ball of the right toe? Gazing out over the middle finger of the right hand. Check in with the calf. Notice how the calf muscles are. And then when you're ready, slowly lower it back down. Breathe in to pick up the heel, you're on the ball of the foot. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Keep grounding through the left foot. Breathe in to lift. And exhale to lower. One more like this. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So good. Let's straighten the right leg. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, reach out to the right side. Bring the right hand down to the shin, left hand up towards the sky for
Trikonasana triangle pose. So if you've got the left hand on the shin, you can turn the palm out so it's facing away from you. And then think about opening into the left side waist. With an inhale, bring yourself back up. Keep the legs straight. Turn the right palm to face the ceiling. And exhale. Lean back. Reverse triangle. Inhale, come back into center. Bend the right knee, the two hands, windmill down to frame the front foot. You step to high plank. Option now to lower the knees or take chaturanga. I'm taking the knees down. Come to lie on the belly. Point the toes back. Breathe in, Bhujangasana, cobra or up dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. Let's step the big toes together. Inhale to float the left leg up this time. Bend the left knee, stacking the left hip on top of the right. Now, can you press the right heel down? Can you ground evenly through both hands? And then breathe in, take that leg back to center. On your exhale, step it forwards to the top of the mat. Help it along if it needs it. Turn the right foot to face the short edge of the mat. The left knee stays bent as you rise up into warrior two. Sit nice and low into the hips. Can you relax the shoulders away from the ears? Maybe you're gazing out over the middle finger of the left hand. And now check in with the left knee. See if it's rolling inwards. Can you encourage that opening? Working to keep the knees stacked over the heel. And then turn the left palm to face the ceiling. On your exhale, lean back, reverse warrior. With your next inhale, come back to warrior two. Bending the left arm, place the left arm down on the thigh, and then reach the right arm up for the sky for a modified extended side angle pose. You can always start to take the arm over the head, so it's like as if the arm is coming alongside your ear. This will help you to keep the neck long as well. Breathing in, come back up, Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Let's reach the arms up, holding onto our beach ball or imaginary yoga block, and then start to move with your breath. So you're in the center in an inhale, and then you lean to the side for an exhale. Inhale to center, exhale to the other side. Good, try to keep the arms parallel if you can. Keep the legs working, so even though they're apart, keep them strong. Imagine you're dragging them back towards each other. Let's take one more each side. And then once you find yourself back in center, open the arms back up. Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. From here, straightening the right leg. Oh no, don't bend the knee again. I forgot about the calf, didn't I? So from here, let's pick up the left heel, come onto the ball of the foot. Hold here for a few breaths. Can you keep the knee over the heel? Don't let it fall in again. Ground down through little toe side of the right foot. So really plug the right foot into the mat. Now lower the left heel. Let's move with our breath. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Soften the face. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. From here, straighten the left leg. Breathe in, grow tall, breathe out, reach to the left. Bring the left hand down to the shin, right hand reaches up, Trikonasana, triangle pose. You can turn the palm out here to prevent you from leaning on the knee. Spin left ribs under, right ribs back. Maybe you look up. Take an inhale to bring yourself back up. Keep the legs straight. Turn the left palm to face the ceiling and lean to the side. Right hand slides down the right leg for reverse triangle. Breathing in, come back into center, bending the left knee, windmill the two hands down to frame the front foot and step to high plank. Again, your choice of chaturanga, knees down or knees up. If the knees are down, it's Bhujangasana, cobra. If the knees are up, it's upward facing dog. And use your exhale to bring yourself back to downward facing dog or child's pose. Slow the breath. At the end of the next exhale, we're coming through to lie on the back for back bending. So you can step, walk up, or crawl through. Or if you're already down there, just roll onto your back and then come to lie down. So you can take 3 back bends of your choice. You can work from bridge pose and then maybe take supported bridge or hands interlaced behind the back. If you're working on coming up into wheel pose, then you can use the blocks. If you haven't done wheel before and you're interested in trying wheel, I'll show you how to do that. But if you know what you're doing, go right ahead and do it. If you're coming into bridge, I'll show you that now. You lie down on the back, feet are about hips width apart, hands are down by the sides. The feet can be underneath the knees or a little bit closer to the sitting bones. Sometimes what can happen is the feet are further away, you can get cramping in the backs of the legs. So just be mindful of that. And then tilting the pelvis, breathing in to peel up into bridge. You might hold here for a few breaths. Extending the spine, lifting the belly towards the sky. And then maybe slowly rolling down one vertebra at a time. So you can take any variation of that pose if you like. And if anybody is working on wheel or is interested in coming up into wheel with some props, I can show you that now. Otherwise, just keep working away yourself. If anyone has any questions as well, just unmute yourself and ask me. So, if you're thinking of wheel, I suggest you get something to higher up the hands with if you haven't done it before. So I like to use the yoga blocks, and you can have them kind of sideways against the skirting board. You can also use a yoga belt or any kind of a belt really to go around the arms. I don't know where mine is. Oh, there it is. So if you're using the yoga belt, then you have it at about shoulder width apart. And you place it just over the elbows. You want to make sure that it's not too tight, so you can see mine is a little tight there. I'm going to loosen that a bit. So it's a little bit wider than my actual shoulders. I can bring it right down by my sides. And then you come to lie down on the mat the same way that you came up for bridge, except for this time the hands come onto the blocks or whatever support you're using. You don't have to have the blocks to do this. I just find that they can be really helpful. Ground down through the feet, send the low back down into the mat, and then it's an inhale to come up. I might not be able to talk, and I think the belt might even knock off my microphone. We'll see what happens. And then when you're ready to come down, tucking the chin into the chest and slowly lowering back down. One vertebra at a time, and release the belt. So you can do that with like any props that you could find at home, something to higher up your hands that's sturdy, that's not going to move around. I saw they did have yoga blocks last week in Aldi, and apparently they have them in like Mr. Price and places like that. So if you guys are thinking of investing, you know, you can just pick them up in those shops, or if you want to know some really good brands, send me a message and I'll tell you where to get these cork ones. I think these are the best. Good, that looks great, everybody. Good, so if you're still working, keep working. If you're down and you're ready to release out, take the feet wide apart and then let the knees fall from side to side. That really gentle windshield wiper. It's really nice neutralizing for the spine from side to side. Next, when the knees come over to the right side, let them fall all the way down. You can cross the legs or you can stack them. Take the arms out to a T, palms facing down, and then look over the left shoulder towards the fingertips. So if you feel like you need more of a twist from this, you can always take your right hand onto your left thigh to bring it down towards the floor, or cross the legs and then hold the legs. That's a little deeper. Notice the breath here. Can you slow it down? And if you're looking to the left, bring the gaze back into center, and then bring the legs back into center. Unravel the legs, readjust your pelvis onto the mat again, and then slowly let the knees fall to the other side. So once again, you might look to the right, maybe you'll cross the legs, you might hold on to the right thigh. Ready to come back to center, the gaze comes back first, followed by the legs, and then hug the knees in towards you. You might start with small pulses of hugging in and then releasing, noticing how the lower back feels. And then take the knees apart and make circles, massaging the low back. Go one way and then go the other way. Bend the knees really deeply, reach down, find the sides of the feet or maybe the backs of the thighs, whatever's available. Feet reach up towards the sky for happy baby pose, a really deep bend in the knees. It's as if your knees are coming towards your armpits, so bend the knees as much as you possibly can. And if you feel really happy and at ease here, you might rock from side to side. Rocking, come back into center. Work to bring the soles of the feet towards each other. You might wrap the hands around the feet and then bend the knees deeply. Start to bring the feet in towards you. You've got the option to stay here or on an exhale, round the forehead up towards the toes. So it's as if the forehead or the third eye is coming towards the toes. Or you might just look between the diamond shape of the legs. To lower, slowly lowering back down, hugging the knees back in one more time, and then slowly let the left foot come down towards the floor, crossing the right ankle over the left thigh to make a figure of four shape with the legs. So you might stay here. For some people this might feel like enough, flexing the feet, or you can pick up the left leg, wrap the hands around the back of the left leg, and then work to press your right elbow into the right thigh. So it's like you're pressing your right leg away and you're pulling the left leg in towards you. So find that pull and push resistance here. Don't often use the words push and pull in yoga, but this is one of those times where you need to find that resistance so you can create that really nice stretch. See if you can relax the shoulders at the same time. And then when you're ready, really slowly release. Let the left foot come down towards the floor. And then take a hold of your big toes with your right hand, yogi toe lock. Bring the knee in towards you and then work towards sending the heel up towards the sky. So the knee might stay really bent. Maybe for some people the leg will straighten. Stay wherever is right for you. Really listening to the back of the leg here, to the hamstring muscles. Finding that opening. You can always hold onto the back of the thigh with the arms or with the hands interlaced behind the back of the thigh and then flex the foot. So that might feel better if the other way was a little too intense. And if you're holding onto the big toe now, breathing in to open the leg out to the right. Don't worry how far it goes. Or you can still be holding onto the back of the thigh here. That can be really supportive if the elbow comes down towards the floor.
You can use your left knee to come out to the side a little bit to counterbalance so you don't roll onto your side. Good. Let's take one more breath here and then breathe in, take it back into center. Exhale, release the right leg down. Give the legs a little windshield wiper here, just neutralize in between sides. And then when you're ready, bending up the left foot, or the left knee I should say, cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Option to stay here if that feels like enough. Or bring the knee in towards you, wrap the hands, I should say, around the back of the thigh. And then create that resistance again. So flex both feet, pull the right leg in towards you, press away with your left leg. Be using the left elbow on the inside of the left thigh to help to find that opening. One more breath here, and then slowly releasing. Let's take a hold of the big toe with the left hand, so yogi toe lock if that's available, and then work to send the heel up towards the sky. One leg might be really different to the other. Don't worry if it wants to stay bent. Hold on to the back of the thigh instead and then flex the foot up. So either option is fine. We're just working to stretch the hamstrings here. If you come to that place where your whole body is shaking, then ease off and find the place just before the shaking started and stay there. And then when you're ready to open up to the left, either holding the toe or the inside of the thigh, open it up. Maybe you look towards the right. The right knee might counterbalance, coming out to the side a little bit. And then breathing in, take it back into center and exhale, release. Give another little windshield wiper from side to side. And if there's any other movements that your body is calling for you to do, then you can do them now. Maybe rocking and rolling up the length of the spine. Whatever you need to finish off your practice tonight. It might be a quick upside down, maybe a headstand or a shoulder stand. We're in the perfect position to come into shoulder stand. Or if you're ready for Shavasana, then find a way to come to Shavasana to find rest. So you are welcome to take a longer Shavasana, to switch me off and just jump into your bed if you like, put on your favorite tune, or you can stay with me, maybe dim your lights, find a comfortable way to rest. So that might be lying, it could be sitting, maybe you've got the legs up the wall or the couch, you might be on your side. All of these options are good. If you've got something to cover your eyes, you can do that too, or dim the lights. Begin to let go of your practice now. Let go of the Ujjayi breath. Allow the whole body to relax down into whatever support is there beneath you. muscle in the body to relax, to let go. Notice how the mind is at the end of practice. And see if you can find some quiet in the mind between the thoughts. Give yourself the permission just to be here for these last few moments of your practice. Finding stillness, finding rest, just being here. No effort, nowhere else to be. Back to the physical body. Allow the breath to deepen. Start to gently move the fingers and the toes. Reach the arms and legs away from you. Take a long stretch. And then draw the knees in towards you, wrapping the arms around the shins. Give yourself a big hug. Thank yourself for coming to your practice, rocking gently from side to side, coming to lie on your side. Give yourself a moment here, let the gaze come back around to the room, and whenever you feel ready, press your way back up to sit. Sitting comfortably, take the hands together at the heart center, bowing our heads, offering our deepest thanks and respects to one another for coming to practice here together. Namaste.